Welcome to a new video series entitled Strategic Capitalism. I'm Richard Devaney from the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth College, and in this video series we'll be gaining insights about my latest book, Strategic Capitalism, New Economic Strategy for Winning the Capitalist Cold War. These short videos are interviews with senior executives and CEOs from a variety of industries talking about what it will take for America to win the capitalist Cold War. I want to ask you a number of questions about the economy of the United States. We're having trouble now, and the country isn't growing. We're losing jobs to Asia. What do you think the U.S. government needs to do to turn that around?
First, we're going to have there be real reality and honest discussion in the United States political system before we can see government begin to do what needs to be done. It's our judgment that we're going to have increased taxes and spending cuts both in order to position the United States to be successful. And it's clear in our customer base that until we have established a real plan to deal with the deficit, have a way in which to reduce unemployment, have a way in which to permit property values to reach their natural occurrence and not be forcing property values one way or another. Until people feel secure that we have a real plan in the United States, we're not going to see the sort of long-term economic growth we need. And while one can say, well, then increased taxes and decreased spending are going to be a throttle on growth, it is our judgment they won't be, and in fact, certainty will permit our economy and CEOs like myself all around the world to then make long-term decisions that will permit us to be successful over a longer period of time.
What do you think the government could do for a company like Brunswick to help you be more competitive? You have some Chinese entrants coming in and other competitors from all over the world, a lot of Japanese competitors as well. Is there something the government can do to help you?
Yes. In our view, the most important thing our government can do is keep the playing field level across the globe. And the playing field is clearly not level across the globe. And many times it is our view that our government permits it to remain unlevel for political reasons, but then wants certain business results to flow from those political reasons, and they won't. So as an example, Brazil is the third largest boating market in the world. The Brazilian government makes it next to impossible for an importer to compete with local companies in the boat market. But there are other markets where the Brazilian government needs U.S. imports, and they let those freely come in. Yet the boating industry around the world is struggling, and we've seen bankruptcy reorganizations at unprecedented levels, venerable brands going away or becoming so weakened they're unlikely to survive. And what we need is for the government to ensure Brazil, China, but even places such as Italy, for the playing field to be level for product coming into our country and for product here going into any particular country. And as long as that playing field's level, we don't need an advantage, nor do we want an advantage. And our concern is that political reality, or what's thought as reality, really overtakes what is required as a part of economic necessity for companies like ours to be successful, and that's what we look for, is a good level playing field.
One of the biggest challenges that we've had in the last 10 years, maybe a little bit more than that, has been this massive movement of wealth from the West to the East. Jobs are flowing there, political power is flowing there. Do you believe that that's inevitable, or that there's something that can be done about that?
I do not believe that is inevitable. And again, I think it's important for this country to make decisions about what we need for our long-term financial health And as soon as those decisions are made, we'll see the great stability on which this country was developed begin to again be remobilized, refocused, strengthened. And my judgment is what we will see is the innovation that we've had in America that's driven America and has permitted us to be the strongest economic power in the world to continue, and then business will naturally even. And we'll not see great migrations one way or another, nor do we need to make great migrations one way or another. But again, the point is we need real stability and an economic environment and climate in which we can all work.
A lot of the assumptions that I'm hearing around the country is that if we educate more and we innovate more, and that those are the keys to us winning in the global marketplace. But I wonder, can we out-educate billions of people in the rest of the world who are more educated, education-oriented than we are? And can we out-innovate that many brains? If a lot of innovation is pure serendipity, there's going to be millions of minds coming online, taking stabs at stuff, at new things, new ideas, new products, new technologies, new business models. Are we really going to be able to outcompete all of that? And how would we do it?
First, my judgment is yes, but we don't have to outcompete, and I'll come back to that. You made a statement about which I would take umbrage. Innovation is not serendipity. Innovation is a process. And the process begins with great education, but it also then ends with a system that encourages and rewards innovation. And not just in the marketplace, but in society and for political reasons, etc. And we've begun to lose our way around that, in my view. Next, it's not important that we out-innovate the entire world, in that we have to be the originator of every new idea or new product or new process. But what we do have to be good at is recognizing that as others come on, how we can use them to help our country and to let those societies and economies benefit. But my judgment is that with the political system we have in the United States, with the economic reality and system that we have in the United States, our ability to out-educate and out-innovate for a significant period of time is going to remain in place. But we shouldn't worry about innovation that comes from other places and people becoming more educated, because it'll help us all if we react appropriately. Generals know they will not win every battle. So you got to go win the ones you should win, and you got to have the organization and the training to go win those. But one has to understand the other side is going to get their shots. And the key is to understand that they're going to get their shots, and don't be discouraged by it, and don't be thrown off our plan and then take advantage of their shots. And every general who's lost a battle, who's won a war, used the loss as a way to advance his cause. And that's the way we need to think about innovation.